spend our life searching for the sense of belonging. Some people die before they fulfill their desires. Such a waste of existence. Spend our life searching for the sense of belonging. Some people die before they fulfill their desires. Such a waste of existence.
Anxious earth is rising. Anxious earth is rising. I'm so happy.
We spend our life searching for the sense of belonging. Some people die before they fulfill their desires. Such a waste of existence.
Hey, good evening. Welcome to the Double Tribble channel on Twitch. How's everyone? It's been a while since I streamed, a few days now. Wanted to do a news stream today because I haven't done one in a while. Usually, you know, I do it on Mondays usually. Well, I wasn't a while there. I was doing it on Mondays. But I missed a Monday and a lot of stuff has been happening, so I thought I'd do a news stream. So we'll do a news stream today. Yeah, a lot of stuff has been happening, so I'll just go ahead and just do the news stream. And I want to try something different. I want to try just doing just straight news first, you know, because normally I do news and then when I'm talking about the news, I'm giving you background and analysis and opinion and all that kind of stuff. So this time I'm just going to try to give it straight news, just report what's going on. And then after all that's done, then I'll give my opinion. How's that? Maybe we'll see if that works a little bit better. All right, so let me see if I can get into that here. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get into the news here right off the bat. If you have any questions, you can type them into the chat, or if you're watching this on the VOD, right now, currently they're on YouTube. Could be somewhere else in the future, who knows? But if you're watching the recording of this is a live stream, and we have a chat facility where you can type in. But if you're watching on the VOD, you know, a recording of this thing, you can go over to twitch.tv, look up Double Tribble, and that's where you can contact me. And I got links and all that kind of stuff. All right, so on to the news. Yeah, content warning. There's some of these news stories here are difficult to handle. So if you're, not emotionally ready for that, or for whatever reason you don't want to hear that, here's your content warning. So. There you go. Here's one right there. All right. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, a close ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin, issued a new nuclear warning during the United Nations General Assembly on Saturday. Putin's senior Russian officials have repeatedly threatened nuclear escalation against Kiev and its Western partners since Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February of 2022. Lavrov was critical of what he called the pointlessness and danger of the very idea, this is a quote, pointlessness and danger of the very idea to fight to victory with a nuclear power like Russia. In an indication that the warnings may be idle threats, Lavrov said, "We talk about red lines, expecting that our statements will be heard by intelligent decision-making people. It is not serious to say that if tomorrow you do not do what I demand of you, we will press the red button," he said. "I am convinced that in such situations, decision makers have an idea of what we are talking about. Nobody wants a nuclear war." And he said Russia has weapons that, quote, that will have serious implications for the handlers of the Russian regime. Meanwhile, Putin has ordered 133,000 Russians aged 18 to 30 years old to be drafted this fall to replace some of those who have been killed during the country's war with Ukraine. Ukraine is asking the United Kingdom and the US to drop their prohibition on longer-range Storm Shadow missiles and ATACMS, that's the Army Tactical Missile System missiles, to be used to target Russian territory amid concerns that Kiev's use would escalate the conflict. Ukraine says it needs the long-range weapons to target air bases used by Russia's warplanes that launch guided bombs against Kiev, often from deep inside, glide bombs against Kiev, often from deep inside Russian territory. Storm Shadow missiles with a range of about 150 miles have so far only been used against Russian targets in occupied Ukrainian territory. Ukraine has recently attacked and taken Russian territory that borders Ukraine, but attacks deeper into Russia have been limited thus far. Fatah Sharif Abdu El Amin, gotta apologize for pronunciations of some of these names here, who worked as the principal of the Deir Yassin school in Lebanon until he was suspended in March, was killed by an Israeli attack on the Al-Bas refugee camp in southern Lebanon. The school El Amin worked at was run by UNRWA, that's the United Nations Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees in the Near East. The IDF, the Israeli Defense Force, had claimed that El Amin worked for Hamas, and Reuters has recently reported that after his death, Hamas admitted that El Amin was their leader in Lebanon. When it was founded, Hamas was quietly supported by Israel to oppose Yasser Arafat and his secular PLO. Iran has launched a missile attack against Israel following Israel's attacks in Lebanon and Gaza, and threatened to intensify the attacks if Israel retaliated. According to Reuters, Iran's Revolutionary Guard issued a statement Tuesday saying quote, after a period of restraint, this is Iran's Revolutionary Guard, a quote from the Revolutionary Guard. They say, quote, after a period of restraint, Iran has targeted the heart of the occupied territories with tens of missiles following the martyrdom of the Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh. I don't know how to pronounce these names. Ismail Haniyeh. The statement continued. The intensification of the Zionist regime's attacks on Lebanon and Gaza, the martyrdom of Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah, and of the Guard's commander Abbas Nelforosashan. So that was a statement by the Iran Revolutionary Guard. Turkey's President Erdogan has asked the UN General Assembly to authorize the use of force to stop Israel's attacks on Gaza and Lebanon. He said the UN General Assembly, this is a quote, it says, quote, the UN General Assembly should rapidly implement the authority to recommend the use of force as it did in the 1950 Uniting for Peace resolution. If the Security Council can't show the necessary will. So Erdogan made that request after a cabinet meeting in Ankara. So it wasn't just him speaking off the cuff there, apparently. Oh, I'm sorry. No analysis, no opinion on this one. Read it straight, then we'll give the opinion afterwards. All right. In Japan, Shigeru Ishiba has been elected as Japan's new prime minister, winning a runoff election, one of Japan's closest elections since it became a democracy following World War II. Ishiba was confirmed by the Diet on October 1st. Also on October 1st, Claudia Sheinbaum was officially sworn in as Mexico's first woman president. She's pledged to continue to implement Mexico's democratic reforms to the country's institutions, which include the election of Supreme Court justices by the people. Elections are scheduled to take place in Mozambique excuse me just 1 second here. Elections are scheduled to take place in Mozambique on October 9th to elect a new leader to replace the outgoing president, Filipe Nyusi. Candidates include Asufo Momade, or Momadi, not sure how you pronounce that one, nominee of the Romano Party, and David Chapo, the nominee for the Frelimo Party. Frelimo is the party of the incumbent, Nyusi, a social democratic party, while Renamo an anti-communist party with a history of armed militancy in the region, is the main opponent to Frelimo. There's been peace between the two groups since a truce was established in 2019 when Renamo fighters were peacefully disarmed. There's also a third-party candidate and an independent participating in the presidential election. All 250 seats of the legislative body, formerly known as the Assembly of the Republic, will also be elected. In Austria, the Freedom Party and its leader, Herbert Kickl, have won the most seats in Sunday's parliamentary election. The party has been characterized as hard right or far right by its critics. Other parties have stated that they will not work with the Freedom Party, and it's uncertain at this time whether they will be able to form a stable government. Okay, we can check on that. I don't know what the current situation is on that one. That story might be a little bit out of date. We'll check that afterwards. Okay. All right. In the U.S., the Cornel West campaign has announced that it has achieved ballot access in enough states for 501 electoral votes, with other states pending the outcome of court battles for ballot access. One of the states challenging West's right to be a candidate in the presidential election is Pennsylvania. The campaign released a statement which said, "It's important to note that if Pennsylvania proceeds with printing ballots without West's name, the court has the authority to order a reprint to include him. Similar rulings have been made in other states and will remain hopeful that a just outcome will prevail. By leveraging their resources to challenge legitimate campaigns like ours in court, the Democrats are demonstrating that they are more interested in maintaining power than allowing voters the freedom to choose from a diverse field of candidates." Okay, so that was a statement that the campaign put out. Okay, and then they continue. These unconstitutional tactics aimed at stifling democracy are nothing new. Rather than embracing debate and a diversity of thought, the Democrats are employing procedural barriers and legal challenges to silence voices that offer real solutions to the problems everyday Americans face, said Dr. Cornel West. The campaign remains committed to fighting back and ensuring voters have the choice they deserve, despite the Democrats' continued efforts to limit ballot access and control the political narrative. And this is a map here, so you can see it. This is a map of the ballot access for Cornel West campaign. The light gray and dark gray. The dark gray are states in which the campaign is in court right now trying to get ballot access, either on the ballot or as a write-in. And the light gray states are states that they don't have ballot access to. All right, the U.S. Treasury Department imposed sanctions against a settler group in the West Bank. The group, known as Hilltop Youth, has repeatedly attacked Palestinians in the occupied territory. Dock workers on the East Coast and Gulf ports went on strike, seeking higher pay and guarantees that they will not be replaced by robots. Words were that if the strike had continued for any significant amount of time, it would likely have a huge impact on the U.S. economy. During the strike, or shortly before the strike, President Biden said he supported the workers, but he did not rule out the use of the Taft-Hartley Act, which allows the president to declare an emergency to order the workers back to work or lose their jobs. But as of about an hour ago, Reuters is reporting that an agreement has been reached and that the workers will see an increase of 62% over the next 6 years to $63 per hour. But there's no word on whether the workers got any guarantees on prohibiting robots. In Thailand, a fossil fuel-powered school bus carrying students and teachers on a field trip burst into flames following a minor accident. 25 people, including 22 children, perished in the fire, including 2 who later died in the hospital. Authorities investigating why the people were unable to exit the bus. Authorities are investigating why the people were unable to exit the bus. The bus was carrying 44 people when the accident occurred. Charges have been filed against the bus driver. The crash has shaken the country, and the tragedy has been widely reported throughout the world. China's new nuclear submarine has sank, according to the Pentagon, but no other further details were released. We can follow up on that one later. See if there's anything else new in that. Okay, in the U.S., Amazon has won a partial dismissal of an FTC antitrust suit. The agency said that Amazon uses tactics that deter other online retailers from selling at lower prices and impede sellers from offering their products on other platforms by tying their Prime eligibility to their use of Amazon's fulfillment service. Amazon filed a motion to dismiss in December, claiming that its pricing terms are widely used by the online retail industry and guided by antitrust law. It denied outright the claim of the requirement to use its fulfillment service to get Prime eligibility. And the details of this order by the judge, this partial dismissal of the case, was under seal, so we don't know what the details are. It's secret. I can't report on that. Twitch Prime. There's a hurricane. Hurricane Helene developed in the Caribbean and Gulf of Mexico, eventually reaching a Category 4 with winds up to 220 miles per hour before making landfall in Florida. The storm caused the impacts that are typical of moderately sized hurricanes, with damage in Honduras, Mexico, the Caribbean, Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas, and to a lesser extent interior states. As of October 2nd, it's reported that 191 people had died from the storm. Okay, it's been reported that 437 gigawatts of new renewable energy sources were added to supplies last year, according to an international renewable energy group. And Honeywell has reported that the electrocution death rate among utility workers is 0.73%, or 0.73, workers per 1,000 workers, which is a rate that's unacceptable. Finally, the COVID death rate is increasing once again in the U.S., with more than 1,200 people dying from the disease each week, and tens of thousands of hospitalized each week. All right, so wear your mask, huh? All right, let's see. All right. All right, I gotta run some credits here for those images that I put up there. So we'll do that. All kinds of different images here of all these different things. And most of them are, they get all of them? I don't know if it's all of them. Yeah, but it's not public domain. These are the ones that weren't public domain. All the rest of them were public domain. So. All right, so that's the news. Let's see, there was one that I wanted to follow up on there. I forgot what it was. We can see the dock workers. Let's see if there are any that I need to follow up on here that might have recent stuff going on. Oh, Austria. Yeah, let's see what's going on in Austria. Do a Google search of Austria. See what's in the news for Austria here. All right. That's not what I wanted. Sorry about that, guys. Let's see here. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong. There we go. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, here's a Google search. Google search of Austria. All right, so it's saying why the hard right is unlikely to be the next chancellor. Okay, so they're talking about, so it's, okay. Conservatives want far right to be asked to form coalition. Austrian election, far right opens new era with unprecedented victory. Moves to the right. Thousands rally in Austria against far right. Okay, so it doesn't look like they've struck a deal yet there, so not sure what's going to happen there. Train time, okay. All right, so we don't know. Nothing. You haven't figured it out yet, I guess. So they didn't figure it out All right, let me. All right, I'm going to see if Democracy Now! Has anything on it. Let's do that. Oh, they're asking me to donate. Sorry, I don't have any money. Can't donate. All right, let's see here. Here we go. All right, here's Democracy Now! Let's see if they got anything new here. I get their stuff for free, so that's why I'm using them. They're obviously biased to the left, so you got to keep that in mind when you're reading this stuff. Don't do it. Lebanese lawyer warns Israel against using war to create a new Middle East. Okay, I don't know these. Okay, hurricane floods will plug regional war feared. It's already a regional war. What are you talking about? It's a regional war, man. It's it's Iran, Yemen. It's a regional war. Okay, VP debate. Don't care about that. Fears grow over Israel ground invasion of Lebanon. I guess they're talking about there. Port shut down in Maine. Okay, they got a deal according to Reuters. Julian Assange. Oh, Julian Assange is out of prison. That's right. I probably should have reported that. WikiLeaks. Historic moment. A look at. Okay, they're talking about the change over there in Mexico. In-depth article there. It looks like a feature. All right, let's see what we got under headlines here. I can't really see that too well here. Let's try a little bit better. See that better now? Yeah. Oh, I gotta check, make sure my mic's still on here. Yeah. All right, still got a mic. Okay, Israeli airstrike kills 9 near Lebanon's parliament. Is that new? Let's see when that was. December 3rd. Yeah, okay. That was Israeli invasion. At least 9 people, including health and rescue workers, have died in central Beirut after Israel bombed an apartment building housing a medical center affiliated with Hezbollah. At least 14 people were wounded in the airstrike on the Basura district in Beirut near Lebanon's parliament. The reports Israel fired white phosphorus munitions during the attack. That's bad. I thought that was banned. Didn't know they were making those anymore. With numerous strikes in the southern suburbs of Beirut. Lebanese authorities say 1.2 million people have been displaced since Israel began its massive aerial assault last week. 1.2 million. Wow. In Lebanon. 8 Israeli soldiers have been killed in southern Lebanon. Hezbollah claims it has destroyed 3 Israeli tanks. Okay, so that's a new battlefield report there on that one. U.S. remains fully supportive of Israel. We had a senator here that called for Netanyahu to step down. So not everybody in the U.S. is supportive. Israel's attack I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of people, and internationally, it's pretty much just the U.S. State Department and any of the U.S. Allies or whatever. I think maybe France is might be on Israel's side too still, and the UK probably maybe. It's pretty much everybody is against what they're doing. The killing innocent citizens and all that. Court filing reveals new evidence about Trump's effort. Okay, I'm going to read about Trump. Don't want to read about Kamala Harris. Let's see. October heat wave. Okay, weather report. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do a weather report later. UK to hand charge it. Chagos Islands over to Mauritius. That's the country, but won't give up Diego Garcia Air Base. Let's read about that. This is interesting. It's kind of one of those esoteric things, kind of stuff you're not going to hear on old media. So let's cover that. You get the Democracy Now! Is covering it though. UK to hand Chagos Islands over to Mauritius. I don't know how you pronounce that. Let me look that up. I'm gonna look that up right now just to see how to pronounce that damn name. I always thought it was more Mauritanious, but it's let's see here. See if Wikipedia has a pronunciation on that thing. One of these days I'll learn the pronunciation of all the countries. They don't even have it here. Oh wait, here it is. Okay. Oh, they even have a thing here. Let's see if it'll play here. Did that play? Can you hear that? No, I can't hear it. That's not good.
Mauritius.
There. Oh yeah. Okay. So Mauritius. Okay. So they're Mauritius. Okay. That's a lot easier to say than all the other pronunciations I was trying to use. All right. All right, back to Democracy Now! Okay. UK to hand over. Now I got to look up this one. Chet, now I'm not going to look up it. Chagos Islands to Mauritius, but won't give up Diego Garcia Air Base. Mauritius sounds like an adjective, doesn't it? Mauritius. They're being very Mauritius. All right. Okay, let's read this whole thing again here. So the United Kingdom has announced it will return sovereignty over the Chagos Islands to Mauritius after nearly 6 decades of British rule. The archipelago, located in the Indian Ocean, is home to a contested military base on the island of Diego Garcia, controlled by the UK and leased to the US military. As part of the agreement announced today, the base will remain under UK and US control for at least the next 99 years. If the UK and US are still around in 99 years. I don't know. I have questions about the U.S. being around next decade, where things are going. Okay, in the 1960s and 70s, the UK expelled most Chagos Islands inhabitants to make way for the air base, which Human Rights Watch has called a crime against humanity. Chagosians seeking to return their ancestral territory are calling on the Biden administration to apologize and make reparations. Huh, okay. Do we know where that is? Let's see if I got a map here somewhere. I got a map here somewhere, I think. Let's see. Alright, let's see if I can make this come up here. Right here. No, right here. There we go. Did that work? Okay. Alright, let's see here. Can I zoom in on this thing? Oh shit, that's not right. Sorry about that. Oh man. Okay, there it is. Oh, I see what it is. I tried to zoom in with my mouse scroller here instead of zooming in. It just went to the next image. Oh, here we go. Here's another one. Oh. I don't know. Apparently my viewer doesn't... oh, I know what I got to do. Let's try this. Here we go. Here's a plus button. Let's try that. There we go. All right. That's as far as it zooms in. There's Mauritius. Okay, Mauritius is a whole bunch of islands here. I don't see anything. Maybe let's see if Wikipedia has anything on that. God, this is a huge article on this little island country. Wikipedia is amazing. All right, let's see here. Go back to what do we got here? Oh, audio. Okay. Sorry about that. All right, I think we got this figured out now. All right, so this is the article on Mauritius. Island country in the Indian Ocean, right? We know that. Okay. Let's see here if they got little. I want to see if they got a map showing where those Chagos Islands are. Island. There it is. Chagos Archipelago. Archipelago is composed of atolls and islands. It is located approximately 2,200 kilometers northeast. 2,200 kilometers northeast. Wow, that's really spread out, man. 2,200 kilometers. That's a long ways. Northeast of the main island of Mauritius. Mauritius claims sovereignty over the archipelago, which forms, okay. So the Wikipedia article isn't up to date. Somebody's going to have to get in here and update this, aren't they? Say that they're turning it back over. Partially. All right, I'm gonna go to this other article here. On this Chagos archipelago. God, you gotta get another huge article here on this thing. This is amazing. Okay, let's see what this is about. Alright, there we go. Alright, says the group of 7 atolls comprising more than 60 islands. Let's see what this shows here. Look at that. I want to see it. Oh, here it is. Okay, they're showing where it is in relation to. Jesus, come on. There we go. I don't know what this shows here. You got a little circle on it here. So it's halfway to India. Look at that. Wow. Okay. Out in the middle of the Indian Ocean. Yeah, they said they'd make that agreement for 99 years. The island will probably be underwater, right, by then, right? Because of global warming. What's the elevation? Do they have the elevation here? Let's see what the elevation is. Let's see if it'll be underwater. Population, ethnic groups. Let's see, geography. Okay. It's a huge article. They got to say what the elevation is, right? Don't they? Maybe not. Lagoons. They don't say what the elevation is that I see here anywhere. Let me just do a search for elevation, see if that works. Or altitude, maybe? No, elevation. That's on that right? Elevation. No, I don't see it in there. How can I have this big long article and not say what the elevation of the damn islands are? Okay, I don't understand that. Damn. Number of islands, location, area. Damn. It's kind of an oversight, isn't it? They got all this stuff. Sovereignty dispute. Okay, they got that in there. Let's see if they added anything at the end of this. Oh, look at they added. Somebody added it. On October 3rd, 2024, the UK government made a joint statement with the Mauritian government that they had negotiated for the sovereignty of the Chagos Islands following 2 years of negotiation, whilst still enabling the running of the American military base on Diego Garcia. So they did update it. At least that part they did. In this one. They got updated on the Mauritius article there. All right, so that was an interesting rabbit hole. All right, let's see. Let's go back to democracy now here. See if there's anything else going on. Okay, the new president there, Claudia Sheinbaum. Sheinbaum. I should probably learn how to pronounce that too. Sheinbaum issues formal apology. Okay, prosecutors indict 68 members of the neo-Nazi gang in Southern California. Wow. I didn't know there were 68 neo-Nazis anywhere in the United States. 68 members of a neo-Nazi gang. Wow. That's a lot. I didn't think there were that many neo-Nazis. Period. Alright, let's see. Netanyahu vows to retaliate after Iran. Okay, we talked about that. Shooting, stabbing. Says its fighters repelled Israeli troops. Israel bombs Gaza school and orphanage. Vice presidential debate. Okay, Russian attacks on Kherson market kills 6 in Ukraine. Okay. Oh, view all. Let's see what we get here. Okay, Netanyahu. Okay, 7 killed. Hezbollah. Vice President. Okay, there it is. NATO's new Secretary General warns China over aiding Russia in Ukraine. Wow. Well, that would be pretty bad. Biden approves record $567 million military aid package to Taiwan. That's a lot of money, man. Wow. Damn. Okay, get to be president in Mexico. Being swept away by her. Okay, got hurricane deaths. Texas prisoner put to death. Yeah, I can't believe we still got the death penalty in this world. You think we're making progress, but we're still doing stupid stuff, killing each other. Department of Justice says violence and sexual assault are rampant in Georgia prisons. U.S. to open cold case civil rights investigation into the Tulsa race massacre. Wow. What? How could you? How could? I guess there may be some people who are still alive that were alive at that time. I mean, they're going to be over 100 years old, right? Is that possible? Can anybody still be alive that was involved in that? No, it's 103 years ago. And for them to do that, they'd have to be like, what? At least a teenager, right? What? I don't understand. Okay, it's just a civil rights investigation. I want to see what that's about. Okay. See what they're... Who's in the Justice Department? Who are they gonna go after? I don't understand. I mean, they could investigate. I mean, like there could be a congressional investigation or something. But how can there be a criminal investigation? Who are they going to put in jail? Who are they? I don't understand this. You can do an investigation, and shine a light on what happened and all that. But I don't understand. All right, let's read this here. Announced a federal investigation into a Tulsa race massacre after Oklahoma's Supreme Court in June dismissed a lawsuit brought by two elderly survivors. Damn, I'm really confused. They must be okay. They have to be at least 103 years old, right? So yeah, I guess they're okay. No one has ever been charged over the murders of an estimated 300 black people who were killed when a white mob burned down what was known as Black Wall Street, the thriving African-American neighborhood of Greenwood. The Justice Department will probe the killings under the Emmett Till Unsolved Civil Rights Crime Act, which gives the federal government the power to reopen civil rights-related cold cases. But who? I don't understand who they would be. I mean, I'm confused about this still. I mean, it's good that they're shining a light on that and investigating it and getting, finding the truth and making people aware of it and all that. But I don't understand who they would prosecute for something like that. Because they'd have to be dead, right? If it happened 103 years ago, and anybody involved in that would have to have been at least a teenager. I mean, I guess it's possible that there's somebody who's like 110 years old or 100. No, wait. They'd have to be 113, 14, 15, 16. They'd have to be. I don't understand this at all. Damn, this is confusing. All right, let me look. I'm going to look up the Emmett Till Unsolved Civil Rights Crime Act and see if that gives us a little bit of information on this. Okay, I gotta paste. Okay. The Emmett Till Unsolved Civil Rights Crime Act is an act of the United States Congress introduced by John Lewis that allows the reopening of cold cases of suspected violent crimes committed against African Americans before 1970. The U.S. House of Representatives passed the legislation on June 20, 2007 by a vote of 422 to 2. The U.S. Senate passed the legislation on September 24th by unanimous consent. Bush signed it into law. Background. Okay, we know the background, right? Everybody knows what's going on about Jim Crow and all that. Origin of the name of the act. Okay, here's legislation. The Emmett Till Unsolved Civil Rights Crime Act was first proposed on February 8th. It was passed by those people. The bill creates increased collaboration between local and state law enforcement, the FBI, and other elements of the Department of Justice. Overall, its primary purpose is to authorize investigation and prosecution of cold cases that appear related to civil rights violations. As of its authorization in 2008, the bill could apply to any case of a crime committed before 1970. In addition, the bill provides for assisting the families of victims of civil rights crimes. There you go. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so that's probably what they're doing then. They're reopening this investigation so that the people can be compensated, or the estates, right, in most cases, because most people have passed by now. Okay, so that makes sense. So they're so that's mainly just, and it's good that they're making more people aware of that. I know when I grew up, I never heard of that. I never heard of that until just a few years ago that it came out that happened. And generally, the whole thing, there was Jim Crow, and all I heard about, Jim Crow was like, being able to vote and stuff like that. A lot of terrorism and stuff like that. They didn't talk about much. They didn't teach us much about the terrorism that went on in the U.S. in the early 20th century. So, all right. Well, let's see here. Hezbollah denies reports Israel troops have invaded southern Lebanon. Serious strikes. Damascus. Displaced Palestinian children. Oh. So Israel released a Palestinian prisoner there, it looks like. Okay. All right. So for those of you just joining, I did a straight reading of the news, and now I'm looking to see if Democracy Now! Has anything new that I missed, or anything that I missed in what I had just covered on the news. And then I'll give my opinion on the news. If you want to hear my opinion, stick around for that. Also, if you can give me a follow, I'm still trying to get affiliates. So if you're watching this on the VOD or live, if you can give me a follow, I'd appreciate it. Just go over to twitch.tv and look up Double Tribble. Okay, half of Haiti is suffering acute hunger. Yeah, that's not getting covered enough in the news. Haiti. Security force. Let's take a look at that one. Half the population of Haiti is now experiencing acute hunger, according to the World Food Program. Roughly 5.5 million Haitians are struggling to feed themselves and their families. 5.5 million. Thousands of mostly displaced Haitians are suffering from catastrophic hunger. I understand how this can happen. How can this freaking be? It's a tiny little island. Let me show you where this is. For those of you who are unfamiliar, I'm going to show you where Haiti is, and how, it's like right next to where we are here, the U.S. Let's see. All right. Okay, this doesn't zoom in anymore, but there it is. They show this much closer than it actually is, I think, to Cuba. I don't think it's that close to Cuba. It's kind of weird on this map. Let's see if I get a better map here. I guess it is kind of close. So there's Haiti right there. Is my pointer working? Can you see that? Yeah. There's Haiti. There's the Dominican Republic. There's Cuba. There's Florida. There's the United States. How can people be starving right here? 5.5 million people. The fuck, you know? Just, you know, send a boat over there, man. Do something. You know, you could fly one of those big C-130s over and drop food, you know? Just, God, our government is so fucked. This comes as the UN. Okay, I'm going to continue this article here. This comes as the UN Security Council on Monday authorized another year of intervention by an international security force in Haiti amid soaring gang violence. Yeah, they keep calling it gang violence. I think it's a civil war that's going on. I don't know. I don't know why they keep calling it gang violence. It's obviously, you know, 5.5 million people. I mean, it's a civil war. There's a civil war going on there. They keep calling it gang violence, you know. This is WFP Haitian director. Okay, so this is the way Democracy Now! Does their articles. They say something about what's going on, and then they give a little quote afterwards. So Wanja Karya says, quote, "Without food security, we will go into continuously being in that cycle of crisis, poverty, and the cycle will continue. And I don't see food security being given the same importance as, let's say, security sector." I don't understand what that means, but a lot of people hurting. You know, this is our neighbor, man. We should be helping them. Devastation beyond belief. Georgia judge strikes down 6-week abortion ban. Okay. Biden administration escalates crackdown on asylum seekers at southern border. 45,000 dock workers. Okay, major strike, that's done, right? Get to figure out. Kansas City renters launch strike against predatory landlords, demand federal rent cap. Yeah, build more houses and use a condom. That's my suggestion on that one. I choose freedom over justice. Okay, that was Julian Assange, I think. Israel kills Hezbollah leader, right? Yeah, we know about that. Okay. And then Iran attacked him after that. Let's see. Strikes. Must be a wake-up call for climate justice. Okay, 200 people killed in monsoon flooding in Nepal. Okay. Damn. 200 people killed in Nepal. That's a small country, so that's a lot of people. Over 50 refugees believed to be dead in the Canary Islands shipwreck. Let's see what else we got. A catastrophe. Oh, okay, that's what's going on in Austria. Okay, we covered that. Ukraine says Putin waging war on hospitals. Okay, another political prisoner. Okay, something going on in California. Fire at Georgia's biolab plant leads to mass evacuation, shelter-in-place orders. Recreate soup attack on Van Gogh. We shouldn't be damaging art to protest. That's Ridiculous. Don't do that. Don't damage art. Lebanon calls for international community to intervene as Israel's attack kills 700. Okay, let's see. As long as demand Biden administration investigate Israel killing. So let's see here. What else we got? Cornell University student facing deportation for participating in Gaza solidarity protests. How can you deport somebody for protesting? You can't do that. You can't deport somebody just for protesting, just for speech. You can't do that. Okay, there's something more going on here. I'm going to investigate this one. See if they got any more details here. Facing deportation to the UK after administrators suspended him for taking part in campus protests to divest from Israel, right? Says he was advised to leave the U.S. promptly after his academic suspension led Cornell's immigration office to cancel his F1 student visa. Oh, I see. Okay, so his being here was dependent on him being in school. All right, well. So he's got to, I guess he's got to find another school or something. But that's not right. They shouldn't do that. They shouldn't kick him out of the country for speech, you know. Find author. Okay, I don't know what that is. I don't understand that. No war criminals in New York City. Activists taking. Oh, Netanyahu. Right, yeah, we know about that. That was a big protest in New York. A lot of streamers were out there and everything. Twitch streamers were in New York. Tuvalu says low-lying Pacific nations must retain sovereignty in face of existential climate threat. Okay. All right, so I think Ron Wyden proposes adding 6 justices as part of sweeping reforms to Supreme Court. Yeah, what they should do is do like Mexico is doing. Let the people elect judges. That's one of the main problems with the Supreme Court right now is there's zero connection to people. To the people. The people don't have any say-so on what the judges, who the judges are, what they do, anything. So that's not democracy. I think we should elect the judges. And we should have more of them. We should probably elect a new one every year or something. You know, and then let the other ones go away through attrition or something. Or maybe like at the beginning of every new Congress, have an election. Yeah, at each congressional election, elect a Supreme Court justice. And we'd end up with, you know, maybe 30 or 40 justices or something after a while. Sounds good to me. We should have a jury, a jury of citizens. You know, a sortition of citizens on a jury on the Supreme Court. Other courts have juries, right? There's a right to jury in a lot, in a lot of cases. So we should have a jury of citizens on the Supreme Court to be involved in when they make decisions and stuff that affect people. That makes sense to me. All right, so all right, so that's what's going on. That's the news. Let me go through some of the stories that I covered, and I'll give maybe I'll give my opinion on some of this stuff, on some of the stories that I covered earlier. All right, so they were talking about Russia again, talking about using nuclear weapons, and I I think they're just doing that just to direct, as like just terrorism, or just I can't imagine that they would actually use nuclear weapons because if they did, certainly Putin would be dead, and and Russia would just be gone. So I don't think they would do that. And the U.S. has said that they would. What the U.S. said, in diplomatic language, they said, that Russia should not use nuclear weapons because some of the fallout might fall on Russia. I think that was just code language that Russia would get hit with nukes too. So it's stupid to even talk about. I don't know. I don't understand why we even have nuclear weapons. We're watching Transcendence. What the hell is that? Why did that pop up here? What caused that to pop up? That's kind of weird. Jesus. What is that doing on there? Alright, there we go. That was weird. I must accidentally click something there. Okay, where was I? Yeah, we should just get rid of nuclear weapons. I don't understand why we still have them. It's just ridiculous. We shouldn't have nuclear weapons. Why do we have nuclear? We're well in the 21st century here. Why are they even around? Why do we have nuclear weapons? And I don't think that's even. Did they talk about that at the debate? I don't watch the debates anymore. I think they're a waste of time. But I mean, is anybody talking about that? Are any of the politicians even talking about getting rid of nuclear weapons? We should get rid of them. What else? Okay, I talked about Putin ordering another 133,000 Russians to be drafted this fall as fodder for this Ukrainian war. So the Russian people have got to be getting losing their patience there now with that. Another 133,000 Russians to replace the ones that are being killed in that war. So yeah, I think there's going to be probably within a year. I think Putin will be gone because of this war. That's my prediction. His own people are going to take him down. Okay, next one. Let's see. Oh, yeah, Ukraine. The Ukrainian president came over and was asking the U.S. and U.K. for. First, he said what did he say? He said he had a plan for victory. I don't think he has a plan for victory. I mean, if he means victory by getting rid of Putin, that's possible. Ending the war, I don't know. These wars are pretty much directed by the defense industry. People who make the weapons. They're the ones who are pretty much in the driver's seat on these things. So I don't know how he's going to do that. How he's going to have victory. Anybody in control of this thing does not want victory. They don't want the war to end. They want to make more money. So I don't know how he's going to do that. But they could. If he means by victory getting rid of Putin, he could do that. That's possible. Long-range weapons, yeah, they should do that. I mean, they got to defend themselves. It's kind of silly, it's ridiculous. They got this war where this, a country much larger than Ukraine, much more powerful than Ukraine, attacked them without provocation, and everybody's saying, well, Ukraine cannot strike Russia back. Ukraine can only strike forces that are in Russia, or that are in their own territory in Ukraine, which is just absurd. Because Russia is attacking them from way inside Russia. They're shooting these long-range missiles at Ukraine. So why can't Ukraine fire back at Russia, deep inside Russia? I think they should be allowed to do that. They're afraid that it's going to escalate the conflict, but I mean, how much more, Russia isn't going to use nukes, they keep threatening that they are, but they're not. So I don't know, Russia's not going to attack the US or the UK, maybe terrorist attacks or something like that, something where they can deny accountability or something. But the US knows what's going on there. If Russia does that, the US would just hit them back. So they might, Ukraine might, we might as well allow Ukraine to fight back, and hit Russia inside Russia. Okay, another article that I did about this guy in Lebanon. I don't know anything about that. I don't have any opinion on that. I don't know what's going on there. Really, just a story. Just he may or may not have been Hamas's head guy in Lebanon. We don't know. I don't know. Anyway, Israel took him out. Yeah, this is something I think a lot of people don't know. I didn't know that it was explicitly known. I figured it was true, but that when Hamas was founded, it was actually supported by Israel. So Israel took this religious group that was opposed to Yasser Arafat. Yasser Arafat was the head of PLO. When was that? 80s, was it? I forget when it was. A while ago. And to take out Yasser Arafat, Israel funded this group called Hamas. And so, my conjecture is that Israel has had some sort of control over Hamas, had their own folks inside Hamas, they're provocateurs or whatever in Hamas ever since then, and have been kind of pulling the strings in what Hamas does, and that either Israel or somebody else who was inside Hamas had them do the October attack against Israel. So either Netanyahu or someone else who from the fossil fuel industry, who didn't want the Gaza marine gas field to go into production, caused Hamas to do that attack, to cause this war to keep the Gaza marine gas field off the market. And now it's just escalated into a regional war. It's a big mess. So now they'll be taking, they're bombing. Where was it? There was one where they bombed. They were thinking about, or they had bombed some oil fields in Lebanon. I mean, that's what this does, right? They do these wars, and they take out oil production capacity or any fossil fuel production capacity in these smaller countries, so that it drives up the cost of oil and gas for the Saudis or OPEC, US, Russia, they all win on that because with higher fossil fuel prices. Okay, let's see. Iran has launched a missile attack against Israel. Yeah, Iran is really interesting. They're much more adults, and you're talking about like the adults in the room in the international community. Iran is an adult, and Israel is a child, in my opinion. Because Israel when they do stuff, they seem to be acting out of retaliation and with less restraint, obviously, right? What's going on, to put it politely. But Iran, when they attack, usually it's more restrained, it's more symbolic, or it's more targeted, or whatever like that. When Iran itself does, Hezbollah does all kinds of stuff. Hezbollah is kind of like a, pretty much controlled by Iran. So from that standpoint, yeah, when they do the dirty work, they have Hezbollah do it. But when Iran actually does attacks, it's more restrained, and they try to be the adults in the room. They did an attack, what was it, about a month ago, where they sent like 200 or something different all at the same time, missiles and drones and stuff like that, all at once, after Israel assassinated one of their guys. And almost all of them were shot down by U.S. anti-missile anti-missile systems. But it was like they broadcast, before they did that, they broadcasted what they were going to do. They said, okay, all right, we're going to do this, and it was like there was back channel stuff going on, so the U.S. knew exactly what was going to happen. I think it was more at that attack before, like a month ago or whenever it was, was more just kabuki theater, and it was, Iran demonstrating what their capabilities are, the U.S. demonstrating what their capabilities are, and so. All right, let's see what else we got here. Turkey, yeah, that's something, huh? Turkey is calling on the UN General Assembly to authorize use of force against Israel. That's amazing. There are probably a lot of people in the UN a lot of countries in the UN who would vote for that. So yeah, I don't know what the details. I don't know what normally the Security Council can veto anything that the UN does, but maybe they've got something in here that some way to get around the Security Council. I don't know how that works. Okay, so we got a lot of new leaders. Most of the new leaders seem to be on the left. Surprises. This thing in Austria was kind of an outlier, I think. Most of the new ones here recently that have been getting elected have been on the left. So for a while we went to the right there, and then now they've come back. So Mozambique, we'll see what happens there. Whatever the outcome is of that election, if they have in Mozambique, if they have an election, especially if they switch to the other, to the Renamo party, if they switch and they put them in, and there's no violence. If they have an election and everybody accepts the outcome of the election, there's no violence. That's a huge deal. You know, that's good for them. Yeah, Cornell West. This is just incredible. If anybody still believes that there's a democracy in the U.S., Cornell West, you know, the Democratic Party is funding huge amounts of money on court, you know, for lawyers to fight Cornell West's ability to be a candidate. You know, that's not how democracy works, people. That's not how it works. We don't have a democracy if other candidates are kept off the ballot, you know, are not allowed to participate. So that's just, yes, thing in Pennsylvania. We'll see how that comes out. Here in New Hampshire, he's not printed on the ballot. He's not going to be printed on the ballot, I don't think. I'm just saying this. I think we're past all those deadlines now. He's a write-in, you know. Most places, if a candidate that gets writ as a write-in has to be like approved or, you know, on a list or something like that. I don't know what it is in New Hampshire. Maybe in New Hampshire they just have to be. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I know in local elections here, like if we're voting for dog catcher or something, you know, in New Hampshire, or at least in like in my town, I know if they're voting for like you know, just a minor office somewhere, that it just has to be somebody who's registered to vote, or a citizen or something, or a you know, resident of the town, you know, and you can just write in the name. I mean, that's how it should be, right? It should be, you should be able to write in the name of anybody who's qualified for the office without anything else, you know. There's a lot of stuff that should be done in our election system. Hopefully after the revolution, we'll get some of that fixed. Campaign release a statement. Yeah, okay. And let me put that map back up here. That's what I can do. That map of the ballot access for that campaign. Let me put that up here. No, that's not it. Try harder. Let's see here. There we go. You see that? Now you can't see Hawaii. Yeah, Hawaii's in there somewhere. So, I don't know if you can see that. The dark, let's see here. The dark orange is where he's a write-in candidate. The light orange, or lighter orange, is where he's on the ballot. Then the light gray is where he's got no access at all. People can't even vote for him in these states, which is just amazing. Nevada, New Mexico, South Dakota, Oklahoma, Arkansas. There's no democracy in those states because people who want to vote for this candidate cannot even vote for them. Their votes won't even count for this candidate. Let's see, in the dark gray ones here is where they're in court fighting to get on the ballot or to get write-in access. So isn't that crazy? You know, you think, you just assume, you know, everybody keeps talking like the U.S. is a democracy. Nah, No, we're not a democracy. In fact, we were the U.S. has been removed. You know, there's what's the name of the group? Freedom Around the World or something. There's a group that keeps track of the status of democracies and which countries are democracies and which are autocratic and all that. And the U.S. used to be, you know, in the ranking there. Am I? Yeah, I got that. Okay. Did that change anything? Yeah, okay. That should be off. All right. Test. All right. Thought I had an audio problem there. Okay. So yeah, this group keeps track of all the countries and which ones are democracies and which ones weren't. And the U.S. for a long time, of course, was, you know, democracy. The U.S. is a democracy, and we were in the top 10. We were doing way up at the top for a long time. And we're no longer listed as a democracy anymore in that group on the list. So, you know, and a lot of the international community doesn't consider the U.S. a democracy anymore. So that's very sad. We need to fix that. That's why I supported a revolution. One of the many reasons why I support a revolution in the U.S. Peaceful revolution, of course. Peaceful. Official write-in candidate. So yeah, here in in New Hampshire, they got to write in. Vermonti's on the ballot. So. But isn't that crazy? You know, I think they should have write-in for the first, just the first, you know. You know, the first 10 people or whatever. I know, like on the New Hampshire primary, it's anyone who comes up with the fee. I think it's $1,000 or whatever, $1,500 or whatever the fee is. Anybody who can come up with that fee gets their name on the ballot. And we end up with dozens sometimes of people running for president in the New Hampshire primary. So I don't understand why they don't just do that. They could put a small fee. They could put a signature requirement. You know, you got to get 500 signatures or 100 signatures or whatever the number is to get on the ballot. That's enough to limit it, I think, to enough that you could put it on a ballot. And you know, most of this is all done electronically now. You could have 100 people, 100 candidates if you wanted. Right? And just let people pick who they want. So, they're there. So that's Cornell West, and that's what's her name? Melina Abdullah. Is her name. So I saw him in person once. I almost met him, but I didn't. I ran out of time. I couldn't see him. Couldn't actually shake his hand or all that. So. Let's fix this here. Get this back. There we go. All right. Oh, here's this one that I covered. This story here that the U.S. Treasury has imposed sanctions against a settler group in the West Bank. Yeah, this group, they're called the Hilltop Youth. So apparently they've been terrorizing Palestinians in the occupied territory, in the settlement areas in the West Bank. And so the U.S. Treasury Department imposed sanctions against the group. I don't know what the actual effect is of that. But I suspect this might be a little warning to Israel, that you know, I mean, imagine if the U.S. kind of like went after, uh, you know, Israeli generals or something, and seize their bank accounts or what, you know, their assets around the world, stuff like that. You know, started doing that. That's a possibility. I think that might be a warning there. Dock workers, yeah. I don't know why. Yeah, I covered this. I covered the dock worker strike, which apparently has been resolved now. At least Reuters is reporting that it's been resolved. But yeah, that's just, you know, to try to fight automation is just the stupidest goddamn thing. You know, that's not how to fix the problem. You know, if a robot comes and does your work instead of you, you know, if you get fired and you don't get any money anymore, that sucks. That's bad. But if a robot comes in, if you're doing something that's really laborious and a robot can come in and do that work for you instead, and you get paid anyway, or you get paid 80% of what you were making before, whatever, that's good. That's a plus, you know. So why, you know, what you should be doing is not fighting the robots coming in to do the work. You should be fighting for compensation when a robot comes in and does your work. You know, if you're a worker and a robot comes in and takes your job, then you should be fighting for compensation. You should be fighting for UBI or, you know, retirement, you know, technology retirement fund, whatever it is, you know, so that you get some high percentage of what you were making, and then you don't have to work anymore. You can go, you know, play. You can go on vacation, go, or do, you know, volunteer, help people out, or do whatever, you know. That's how it should be done. It's gonna, one way or another, this is gonna happen. We're gonna have AI and robots doing everything, or almost everything. 90% of everything. 90% of what people do right now for work is going to be done by AI and robots in the next couple decades. So, you know, why fight that? Yeah, I don't understand why they do that. So I don't know what the agreement said. They got a huge raise there. They got $63 an hour. That's a lot of money. God, $63 an hour. Jesus. So they're making more in a day than I have available in a month of spending money left over after all my expenses. You know, after my rent, and utilities, and stuff. So that's not too bad. But maybe what happened there was they got a huge raise there over the next 6 years, but didn't get anything on prohibiting robots. That's a possibility. If that happened, then the plan might be to just, okay, yeah, we'll pay you $63 an hour, but the robots are going to take your job in the next 6 years. You know, that might be what's going to happen there. I don't know. I mean, if what they should, that, I don't know. We'll see what the details are when the details come out. But I mean, that's what they should be going for, is, you know, a pension, early retirement type pension when they get replaced by robots. Let's see. Oh, the school bus accident. God, that was just horrible. God, you know, so many people are killed every year. You know, in the U.S. and everywhere, all over the world, people get killed because they're driving gasoline-powered vehicles. You know, or any fossil fuel, diesel, whatever, fossil fuel powered vehicles, and they get in accidents and people burn to death all the time. You gotta switch over to electric, man. Yeah, if you're driving a gasoline powered car, man, you can burn to death. You get in an accident. Think about that. When you buy your next car, you want to buy another car that has a big, huge tank of gasoline in it that can burn you to death? No, don't do that. Buy an electric car. Yeah, this thing about China's submarine sinking, I don't know what that's about. No details on that. Yeah, I want to look that up here and see if there's anything on that. Let me Google that. China submarine. See if there's anything on that. China submarine sinks. So that came up on the list here. Defense news. Okay, so we're going to hear the okay, so this is this publication called Defense News, who's reporting on the Chinese nuclear submarine sinking. Oh, during construction. Ah, okay. I thought it was out. I thought it was already commissioned. All right, here we go. Satellite imagery showed that China's new nuclear-powered attack submarine sank alongside a pier while under construction. Okay, the sinking of China's first Zhao-class submarine represents a setback. Okay, so I don't know what Defense News is. What they're if they make their stuff available or not. So I don't want to read any more of that. But anyway, so that's a little more details on what was going on there. All right. Yeah, in this Amazon case, the FTC did an antitrust lawsuit against Amazon, and apparently they got part of that case dismissed, but the judge's order was sealed. It's a secret, so they're doing secret case. When you in the U.S., there's a provision in the law that says that trials have to be public. You have to have a public trial, So if you can't, that means the judge's order and all that kind of stuff, that has to be public. You can't be doing stuff in secret. So that's kind of sucks. They should, this should be public knowledge. They shouldn't be putting these things in secret. You should say what was dismissed at least. What was going on with that. And the hurricane, yeah, that's pretty much been covered by old media a lot. And yeah, we got a lot of renewable energy. That was another story I did. I did a story about. I got this email from Honeywell that said that the electrocution death among utility workers is 0.73 per 1,000 workers, which is huge. That's a huge number of people getting killed, getting electrocuted in electrical utilities. God, I mean, that's a lot of people. That's a huge death rate. And that's just amazing why they don't nobody should have to get electrocuted with workers. I mean, they know how to do it. They know how to do that stuff without, getting hurt. If they follow the right rules and all that. So I don't understand why so many people are getting killed in the utilities. And COVID, yeah, COVID-19 we're still in a pandemic, folks. I know nobody's reporting on it, but more than 1,200 people a day, every 3 weeks, another 9/11, every 2 weeks, just about. It's like another 9/11 attack. Another way of looking at it is imagine if there was like a shooting, right? Some wacko goes crazy and goes into a school or a grocery store or something and kills a dozen people. Okay, if that happened, that'd get reported on, right? Some wacko went in with an AK-15, killed a dozen people somewhere. That would be reported on big news, right? So now imagine if that happened in a dozen different cities across the United States, all in one day. So you got a dozen wackos who go out and shoot a dozen people in a dozen cities across the United States in one day. That would be huge news. They'd be talking about that. That would be that'd be the biggest news story, right? If that happened, dozen people go into stores and kill a dozen people. Now imagine if that happened one day and it happened the next day and it happened the next day. That's how many people are dying from COVID right now. Why isn't anybody talking about that? Why is that not in the news? That's a huge number of people that are dying every day. 100% preventable. All you gotta do is wear this mask here, N95 mask. If we had most people, or maybe 70-80% of the people who wore this mask for a month, they'd be gone. We wouldn't have this pandemic anymore in the U.S. We wouldn't have to worry about it anymore. So, but pharmaceutical companies and the healthcare industry and all that, they all make a lot of money from it. So basically killing people for money, that's what they do. All right, so that's my opinions on stuff. What else we got going on here? All right, let's cleanse our palate a little bit. Let's play the geography game for a little bit, and we can kind of unwind from the news a little bit. All right, bring that up here. Okay, I'm gonna have to adjust this, I think. Yeah, I gotta adjust this a little bit. Yeah, I'll just play the international one here, I guess. All right, let's get this adjusted here a little bit. Okay, can we see the whole thing now? I think that's got them all. All right. All right, let's try this and see if this works. Bosnia Herzegovina. All right, let's see if we find that one. I think that's it. Turn up my speaker so I can hear if I'm getting them right. Comoros Islands. Morocco, Nigeria, Iceland, Djibouti. I don't know if I'm pronouncing these right, so don't go by my pronunciation of these countries. Santa Lucia. They call it Saint Lucia. The Anglicized. Let's see. That was Colombia. Nauru. Ecuador. Serbia. Sri Lanka. Hungary. Yeah, I'm hungry right now. I haven't eaten in a long time. Let's see here. UAE. Bolivia. Kuwait. Norway. Belgium. Tonga. That's way out here somewhere. That's Tonga. Luxembourg. Gotta zoom in for that one. Australia. Gotta zoom out for that one. Let's see here. Ivory Coast. Think about this. I think this is Ivory Coast, but I'm not sure. Or this one. Let me think about this here a little bit. Why am I forgetting this? Okay, I think it's this one. All right, Israel. Let me go zoom in on that one. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Croatia. Jordan. Canada. Turkmenistan. Let's think this through here. Yemen. Seychelles. Denmark. Oh, by the way, when I was doing this thing, wait, I gotta hang on just a second here. I gotta shut my mic. I've got my mic monitor here, and it's irritating me. I'm hearing myself about a second after I speak, and it's distracting me. Let me see if I can fix that. Okay, click that. Microphone monitor off. There we go. All right. Still been messing around with this. Let me see if my mic is. Okay, we got it. All right. So what was I saying? Oh yeah. When I played this game the other day, I was complaining that my mouse wasn't working with the game. I thought, I didn't know if it was my computer, the game, or what it was. Turned out it was my mouse. The little you get the mouse. I use corded mice because I don't want to recharge and all that. It's a pain in the ass. So I use corded mice all the time. And I've got this mouse here. Let me show you. So you got a mouse, right? And so I use a corded mouse all the time. And it turned out the cable was loose or something, the cable went bad, either and the cable or in the connection inside the mouse, and it was actually losing power to the mouse intermittently, and that's why my mouse wasn't working the other day. And so I bought a new mouse at the store. So that was at the Walmart. bought a Walmart mouse for $8. That was $8 I didn't have, but I needed it to run, to make my stuff. I already am sharing a mouse between two different things, so. But anyway, I got a mouse that works. So it wasn't the game, it wasn't my computer, it was the mouse that was broken. That wasn't working right. Okay, Niger. Or Niger, some people say. Iran. Let's see, Iran, I think that's Iran there, right? Iran, Iraq, Syria, I think that's right. I think that's Iran. Maldives, Poland, I think that's Poland, South Korea. Can you see this? Well, you can't see this. I gotta adjust this a little bit here. All right. Is that better? There we go. Okay, now you can see the whole thing. All right, Dominican Republic. We were just talking about that earlier. Costa Rica. Let's see, Costa Rica is here. Cameroon. God, my brain is just not functioning right now. I think it's just I haven't eaten in a long time. Sudan. Okay, so there's Egypt, Sudan, South Sudan, so that's Sudan. Dominica. It's there. Mexico. United Kingdom. Uganda. Or Uganda. Did I say ta? Uganda. All right, let's see. I think that's Burundi. I think that's Rwanda. I think that's Uganda. Okay. Marshall Islands. Slovenia. Vanuatu. Eswatini. Okay, zoom in on this one. Can you see that? Yeah, you guys can see that. Okay. Eswatini is there. Kazakhstan. Pretty sure that's the big one here. Barbados. A lion there. Or islands. Is that more than one? I don't know. Egypt. Malawi. That's Malawi. Spain. Spain. Gabon. I don't know how you pronounce that. Let's see, which one is that? I think it's that one. Oh wait, yeah, I think it's that one. Libya, South Sudan, Nicaragua, Cape Verde, Benin, Paraguay, Namibia, oh shit, how can I not remember this now? Which one is Angola and which one is Namibia? Alright, I think it's through run. I think this is Angola and this is Namibia. Yeah, got it, okay. Man. Venezuela. Bahrain. That's the little one here, I think. Can zoom in on this. Tajikistan. Okay, here's all the Stan countries that are always Afghanistan. This is Stan, that is Stan, and Tajikistan. Okay. Albania. Oh no, come on. Oh no, that's not Albania. Okay. I missed one. Missed one. All right, Albania. I think this is Albania. There we go. Mali. Rwanda. Argentina. Vietnam. Oh, I should change this. Here, I'm gonna change. That's too late now. I'm almost done with the game. My thing here is talking about the news, but the title of my stream. That's okay. I should have changed it to games. Let's see, Qatar. Ghana. Isn't it? Oh, that was Togo. Jesus. Okay. I missed two. I missed two of them. Solomon Islands. Netherlands. St. Kitts and Nevis. I have no idea if that's how you pronounce that or not. Morocco. No, Monaco. Okay. Monaco. I think that's Monaco, that little one there. Indonesia. That's Indonesia. Syria. Germany. Let's see here. Spain, France, Germany. North Korea. You can barely hear that click when I get them right, can you? Let's see if I can fix that. Huh. All right, let me see if that fixes that. Fiji. There we go. Okay. That sounds a little bit better. All right, Guyana. Guyana. That's over here. I'm pretty sure. Which one is it here? I think it's this one. Peru. Portugal. Oh, Big Ducky Snow, how are you? Oh, I hope you didn't. I hope I didn't leave you waiting there too long. I was concentrating on a game, not looking at my chat. How are you? For those of you who are watching on the recording on a VOD, I'm live streaming on Twitch. Currently playing the geography game, and Twitch has a facility where people who are watching the stream can chat at me with a little chat window here. And one of the friends of the channel, Big Ducky Snow, has chatted at me, and he says, just popping in for a lurk before bed. I love supporting you. Oh, thank you, Stephen. Love you supporting you, buddy. Praying you'll have a great stream. Take care, friend. Well, thank you. And he's lurking. Good. Well, thank you for stopping by, Stephen. Thank you for supporting the channel. You know, we were talking the other day, Stephen, and I typed something in. I was watching your stream, and I was typing something into your stream that I don't think I didn't explain properly about Ben-Hur. My last stream before this one, I streamed the whole movie Ben-Hur, and when I typed into your chat something like that I streamed Ben-Hur, and I think I typed it in a way that made it sound like I just streamed it online somewhere, that I just watched the movie online on a streaming service somewhere. But what actually happened is I actually, in my stream on Twitch, I played the whole movie Ben-Hur during my stream, in my last stream. That's what I meant to say. So that if you wanted to see that movie, you could go see that just by watching my stream. So that's what I meant by that. I don't think that was very clear when I typed it in at your channel. So I wanted to make that clear. Yeah, if anybody wants to watch Ben-Hur, I streamed it on Twitch for free in my last on my last stream, and I think it's still available on Twitch on my VODs. They only keep it up there for about a week, but then it's available on YouTube also. I think it's still available. Somebody tried to challenge it. Somebody did a fraudulent copyright challenge on a movie that's in the public domain. So kind of weird. Alright, so I'm going back to the geography game here. Maybe we'll talk about, maybe after this I'll talk a little bit about copyrights and stuff on YouTube. It's been a while since I streamed, so I guess I can do a longer stream here. Guinea-Bissau. Guinea-Bissau. What is Guinea-Bissau? I think that's this one or this one. Okay, that's Liberia. I think it's this little one here. Yeah, got it, okay. Then we got Russia. And Mozambique. If you're just joining the stream, I did the news earlier, and now I'm doing the geography game, which I often do after the news, just to kind of give people a feel for some of the places that I discussed when I was doing the news, and also to give me a chance to unwind and get everybody to cleanse their palate from some of the nastiness that's in the news these days. So now we're playing the geography game, learning where the countries are. Okay, so now we're going to Mozambique, which we talked about. Mozambique is having elections coming up here on August 9th, I think it is. We talked about that. This is where Mozambique is, right there. The Philippines. Let's see where the Philippines are. Those are over here. Palestine. Hope everybody knows where Palestine is now. By now, it's been in the news. Just a little bit. Been in the news. There's Palestine. Suriname. It's right there. Mauritius. We learned how to pronounce this one. Mauritius is the name of this. These island countries here. That was in the news too. We did a news story on this. These islands here. Apparently, there's an island way out here in the middle of nowhere, right around here where I'm pointing. It's not even on this map. This is part of Mauritius, but it was claimed by the UK for a long, long time. And the UK has rented out these islands, which are part of Mauritius, to the US to have a US base on it. Anyway, they came up with an agreement whereby the people in Mauritius will have sovereignty over that again. They get them back, kind of, but they still have to let the U.S. state have their base there. So that was in the news. All right, Grenada. Let's see. I think this is Grenada. U.S. Mauritania. Cyprus. There's Cyprus. Cambodia. All right. Sao Tome and Principe. Azerbaijan. Kenya. Togo. Clicked that one by mistake earlier. Armenia. Brunei. Andorra. Laos. All right, let's see here. I'm pretty sure that's Laos. Okay, Senegal. Ukraine. Iraq. Myanmar. Antigua and Barbuda. Tanzania. Belarus. Lebanon. That's been in the news. Bangladesh. It's over here. Palau. It's here. Thailand. Uzbekistan. Belize. Finland. Switzerland. Gambia. It's this little one in here, that little strip in there. Greece. Italy. Ireland. Taiwan. Botswana. That's Botswana. Lesotho, Malaysia, Czechia, Liberia, Zambia, Sweden, Chile. I didn't show that one very well. That's Sweden. Chile, Tuvalu, that was in the news too. I don't know if I covered that or not, but they're in the news. They're sinking. I mean, they're getting covered up, you know, because of global warming. Their country's going away. It's getting covered up by water. Austria. Let's see. I think it's Austria. Lithuania. Cuba. San Marino. San Marino. Madagascar. Burundi. Panama. Pakistan. Pakistan is India, Pakistan. If you're just joining, we did the news earlier, and now we're doing the geography game to kind of cleanse our palate from all that nastiness in the news and to help us learn where the countries are that we talk about in the news. There's China. I think everybody knows where China is. Zimbabwe. Angola. East Timor. Saudi Arabia. Algeria. Montenegro. Let's see. It's Montenegro. Central African Republic. Bulgaria. Moldova. Kosovo. Jamaica. New Zealand. Didn't click for some reason. Estonia. Papua New Guinea. Micronesia. Chad. Burkina Faso. Republic of the Congo. Trinidad and Tobago. Democratic Republic of the Congo. India. Turkey. Liechtenstein. Samoa. Bhutan. Eritrea, or Eritrea. I think it's Eritrea. That's how they pronounce it. Oman. Brazil. Tunisia. Uruguay, El Salvador, Mongolia, Kiribati, Romania, where's Romania? France, Malta, Honduras, Ethiopia, Somalia, North Macedonia, Sierra Leone. Oh, that's Sierra Leone there. Singapore, Japan, Slovakia, these two used to be together. They used to be called Czechoslovakia. So that's a good, if you know, if you're familiar with the former country Czechoslovakia, then it helps you to remember two different countries here. Czechia or Czechia, I think Czechia is how most people pronounce it, and Slovakia. And South Africa, Guinea, Bahamas, Vatican City, Afghanistan, Equatorial Guinea, Guatemala, that was Kyrgyzstan, Latvia, Georgia, Haiti, that was in the news, we talked about that. There you go. So I missed two of them. Oh well. That wasn't too bad, I guess, for being so tired right now. I'm so exhausted. Oh, I don't know if I talk about copyrights or not. Maybe I'll do that. Let me do that. Wow, computer's really slow right now. Why is this so slow? It shouldn't be this slow. What's going on here? All right. All right, I'll bring this up just to talk about this a little bit. So here's YouTube. Here's my YouTube channel. So I'm going to talk about copyrights a little bit here. Why it's such a pain in the ass to post shit on YouTube. Every time I post something, almost they say I'm copyright. So this is my YouTube channel. Here are my videos. Look at how slow this is running. It's weird. So when you post stuff on YouTube, you get a little, here's the public thing that everybody sees. But then when you're logged in and you look at your own videos, they have a thing called Video Producer. Look at how slow this is. Why is this taking so long to load? This is weird. And they list all of your videos here. And after you upload your video or sideload it or whatever, if they find a copyright problem, then they flag it. They put copyright here, and sometimes over here they'll say that it's blocked. Like I uploaded this one here, and this one where I played Ben-Hur. Ben-Hur is in the public domain. It was made in 1925. It's a really, really old movie. It's in the public domain. It's indisputably in the public domain. Nobody can claim a copyright in this film. Yet over here I got a copyright strike. And if you say see details, it says video copyright details, and somebody called Candle Media is claiming copyright to this movie that is in the public domain. Copyright owner is blocking in these territories, so they're blocking my video on YouTube in South Korea. I don't know why they picked South Korea, but and it's very clear. It's obviously in the public domain. There's no question about it. It's in the public domain. But what happens is you get these guys out there that want to. I think what they're doing is they're trying to gather data, trying to dox people, or I don't know what they're trying to do, why they do it. But when you dispute it, you're supposed to type in your real name, when you dispute it, and then it goes to the people who made the claim. So you end up getting doxxed if you don't want your name out there. I don't care, I don't care if my name gets out there. But a lot of people do, so they're intimidated when somebody tries to make a fraudulent claim like that. And YouTube doesn't, they don't police this at all. They don't care. It just makes their service a pain in the ass to use. And what they'll do is these people will I don't know if you can read that or not on there. I don't know. It's very clear. You can see it very clearly. I think you can read that. So yeah, I uploaded this video, and it said copyright. I said, what the hell? That can't be a copyright. And I come in here, and it said blocked on here. And I looked, and it's got Candle Media, and they often will pick names that are obvious what they're doing, right? Sometimes one of them the other day they put in a name, Need to Know. That was their name, Need to Know. Someone will say, Sunshine or Daylight or Docs Media or they pick names that are designed to intimidate the content creator into not sharing their name with them. So what I do when I get a copyright claim like that, which is obviously fraudulent, somebody is fraudulently claiming a copyright on something that's in the public domain or that is clearly fair use or whatever, you come over here and you can dispute it. You can hit. It allows you to dispute the thing. Here, select an option. Let me see if it's good. Okay, so I've already disputed this one, but when I said dispute it, yeah, you can select you can dispute it. You can erase whatever it is. You can trim out, whatever is being claimed or whatever. YouTube lets you do that. So I disputed it, and when you dispute it, there are two different choices when you dispute. You can say escalate it to I forget what they call it. Escalate it into it's a 7-day thing. Or you can just dispute it, which is a 30-day thing. And I disputed it. And then when you fill out the form, you say, hey, this is public domain. They can't be claiming this and blah, blah, blah. And at the bottom it says, type in your signature, type in your name. And instead of typing in my name on the ones that are clearly fraudulent, I just type in fraudulent copyright claim instead of typing in my name. That way, and it's all automated. Nobody's looking at this shit, you know. It's all the machine that's doing it. And that way, my name doesn't get sent out to these assholes who are fraudulently claiming copyright. And it goes through the automatic process, and they never follow up on it because it's fraudulent, right? It's all mechanical. It's just a bot that's trying to collect people's names, you know. And so they don't get my name, and it makes it visible. Copyright is blocking in these territories, and I didn't really care if it's blocked in South Korea. I'm not that worried about my thing being blocked for a few days in South Korea, so I just did it that way. So yeah, always when if you're a content creator on YouTube, or if you're a Twitch streamer and you're putting stuff up on YouTube, putting your streams up on YouTube or whatever, always challenge the copyright claims. And well, of course, unless you violated somebody's copyright, right? I mean, if you're putting up something that's public domain, you're sure it's public domain, or you've done fair use where you've just taken a little clip of something and you're criticizing it or educating people about something or whatever, and it's clearly fair use, challenge the copyright. You know, go take the few seconds it takes to do it, because you know, especially when they have these fraudulent people out there claiming copyright. Let's see if I have one here. Oh, here's a movie night, The Arrival. This one was, I'll go to the details on this one. So this one was claimed by Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers is saying that my use, now they actually had two in this one. I put this one up here. This is my Arrival. I put clips from The Arrival in there, and I had clips from Contact in there, fair use clips from each of those films, to do this review and breakdown of The Arrival. And so when I went in here, it had two different things. It had the Warner Brothers from Contact for the Contact clips, and then who was it? Lionsgate, I think it was, or I forget whoever owns The Arrival also had a copyright claim, and for the clips from Arrival, I contested those on a 7-day escalated claim, and now it's gone away. They didn't follow up on it because they knew it was fair use, even though they were claiming it's copyright. So if you're doing a review of a movie or something like that, and you include clips from the movie in your review, you can do that. That's legal to do that, everybody. You know, if they're claiming that's a copyright, challenge it. It'll take 7 days, and they'll clear it off. Now this one I did the 30-day process because the way that Warner Brothers had challenged this, they didn't try to block it. They just said, we're claiming this is our copyright, but we're letting you put it in your thing anyway. And trying to prevent monetization. There's no way I'm ever going to monetize anything on YouTube anyway, because I don't have enough followers and all that. But I challenged it anyway, right? I challenged it just to make sure that, you know, that they don't try to claim that I was violating their copyright when I wasn't. You know, it's just clips. It's fair use clips. You can do that. The law says you can do that. And also, don't be afraid of going to court too. It's not that big of a deal, you know. Even if they try to take you to court, you can, you know, all you have to do is just answer the stuff when they, you know, and you're gonna win. It's, you know, it's fair use. You know, you can put fair use clips. I don't think they ever go that far anyway. They're just trying to harass people. All right, let's see. Copy protected content. Let's see here. Here it is. Need to know. Okay. So let me show you what's going on with this one. This is my. This is just news. I don't know what I did on here, but somehow I had I used. God, I don't know what it was. Oh, incognito. Okay, I know what this is. This is, yeah, this was the theme song for Democracy Now, which obviously is owned by the Democracy Now Ltd, right? It's their theme song, and this guy out here somewhere, calling himself Need to Know, did a fraudulent claim on the theme song for Democracy Now. And he's calling himself Need to Know, so that people would get intimidated and not want to get doxxed, right? You understand what they're doing there? You understand what I'm saying there? They're saying Need to Know is the name of the guy who's claiming the thing. It's a fraudulent copyright claim. And normally, to dispute the claim, you have to give away your name to the person who's making the copyright claim. And what I did on this is I said, okay, I'm going to challenge this. I wonder here I said select action. I said I'm challenging this copyright claim. And at the bottom where it says type in your name, I typed in fraudulent copyright claim. So this asshole isn't going to get my name even, you know. And hopefully, YouTube, you know, will eventually see that and say, "Oh, okay, this is a fraudulent thing," and what tells me, all right, are we done here? No, let me show. I want to do one more thing here. On some of these older ones here. Some of my older VODs that I uploaded. See where all of them are copyright. I was using here, let me show you this. For a while there, I was using a song, a karaoke song that Big Ducky Snow, Steven, had sung on his stream, and I asked him and I got permission from him to use his karaoke song as an intro to my stream on Twitch. And then every time I uploaded my Twitch stream VOD onto YouTube, it flagged it as a copyright claim. Because of the karaoke cover that Steven had done on this song called Ahead by a Century, which is who owns it? I don't know. Somebody has that. I don't know. And so it was a big pain in the ass for me because I couldn't really challenge that because I'm playing the whole thing. It's karaoke, which is covered for live stuff. You can do karaoke, but what I was doing is I've taken that live karaoke that Steven had done, and I was putting it in my thing as a title song. So it was more difficult for me to challenge that as a copyright. So I ended up with all these copyright things on here. And the problem with that is that the way that YouTube lays this out, it just says copyright. It doesn't say what the copyright claim is or how many copyright claims there are or anything. So every time I had to, if I want to know what the status is on all these things, I have to go in here and actually click on every single one and click on details and look to see what the thing is. See, here's one. I got another one that's hidden in here. I played a click from My Favorite Martian. But there's no way to know that that extra is in there because every single one of my things had a copyright on it because of that theme song I was using. So I eventually had to stop using that theme song for this reason, for a number of different reasons. But this was one of the reasons, was because I couldn't tell if there were other copyright claims on my stuff without going through this laborious thing and clicking, you know, to figure it out. So that's one of the reasons why I had to stop using that. If you're still lurking there, Big Ducky Snow, that's one of the reasons why I couldn't use that theme song anymore. It wasn't just monetization, which I'm probably never going to use anyway, but it was just having that, all those copyright things on there and not knowing whether I had actual other copyright claims in there. But now when I upload it, most of them say no copy, none, because I don't, I try to be very careful on copyright stuff. And it says no, none. But every once in a while, then it'll say copyright. Then I know that there's somebody most likely making a fraudulent claim that I have to challenge, appeal to. So okay, so that's copyright. That's that's more than you need to know about copyright, how copyright works, and why YouTube is such a pain in the ass to use. And it's the reason why I know that YouTube doesn't care about copyright, fraudulent copyright claims, is because they don't have a little check mark anywhere where you can click, I believe this is a fraudulent claim, or anything like that. When you're filling out the form, when you challenge a claim, a copyright claim on something that you've uploaded to there is no little check box anywhere that says, I believe this is a fraudulent claim, please investigate, blah 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 blah. It just makes you type in an explanation as to why you think it's not valid, and sign your name at the bottom. And what they should do is instead have a little checkbox that just says this is a fraudulent claim. These people don't own the copyright to this material, and just click it without having to sign it, without having to do anything, without having to disclose your name or anything like that. And so they can actually look at it and say, yeah, the people who are claiming this don't own this. It's just a fraudulent claim. So anyway, that's copyright. So Big Ducky Snow, if you're still listening, that's one of the reasons why I'm not playing that theme song anymore. And the theme song I have now is available. The theme music I have now. Well, I guess it's a song. There's a little bit of singing in it, but yeah, the theme song I have now is released on Creative Commons, so that makes it a lot easier. All right, so I guess I've been out here long enough. How long have I been out here for? 3 hours, maybe, almost 3 hours. Probably had more news since I did the news. Maybe we should check again. A lot of stuff going on these days. All right, well, I appreciate everyone being here. Oh, I know what I need to do here. I need to, one more thing I got to do here. Speaking of copyright, I used a bunch of images in my news coverage, and I got to give proper credit to all of the folks whose pictures I used. Let's see, pictures, thinner, content. Damn. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm messing around here with this OBS. And it's being weird. Okay, here we go. All right, let's see here. All right, so I got to. What I have to do here is I have to. One of the conditions of using when you use Creative Commons stuff, most of the licenses over there require you to give attribution when you reuse somebody's photos and stuff. So that's what I'm doing here. So these are my image credits. Can you see that? Oh yeah, that's very easy. So I got the name of the image and the type of license, CC by blah blah blah, and whoever did it. So let me just scroll through these. So I've got that officially on my video here, that I gave credit to all those little images that I put into my news coverage. And there were a couple others in there that were public domain because they were whatever, they were public domain for some reason, like the CDC graph. That's something created by the federal government, so that's public domain. But here are the ones that were released by, oh, here's one that's public domain. The nuke, the image of the nuke I had on there, that was public domain. Yeah, I should have put the CDC on here. Let me put that in there. That's okay. I don't need to do that. Public domain, you don't need to do anything. Although it's probably nice to, probably a good idea just to mention that the image that you're putting out there is public domain. Just so people understand that you believe that what you're putting out there was public domain, just to make it clear, but whatever. So, okay, so I gave credit there. And I think I've got more credits I got to do that happen automatically when I do my closing. So I guess we'll do that. Let me think. Anything else? No. So please give me a follow. Oh, first time chatter. Hey, happy nightmares. Thank you for joining us and thank you for chatting. First, it says this is your first time chatting and on my stream. Thank you for coming. Thank you for chatting. Yeah, we did the news tonight. I don't know how much of the stream you saw. At the very beginning, I did just straight news, and I tried to make it look like a newscast, and I had little graphs up in the corner and stuff like that, and we talked about the news. And then after it was over, then I gave my opinion of the news, and we played the the geography game, where they put up a name of a country, and then you have to click on the map where you think the country is. And I didn't do so, I missed some of them. And then I just talked about copyright just now. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, for those of you who are watching on the VOD, this is a live broadcast on Twitch. And on Twitch, there's a facility where people who are watching can chat with the streamer. And Happy Nightmares is a friend of the channel, and she is typing into the chat facility here, and I'm reading her what she's chatting. And she says, "Yeah, I'm so glad I've finally been able to catch you on." And a little smiley emote there. And then she says, am I using the right pronoun? Happy Nightmares. I'm sorry, and then they say, "I only just got here, hee hee." Okay, so yeah, thank you for getting here. So yeah, I talked about, I did the news, and then I did my opinion of the news, and talked a little bit, and then we played the geography game for a little while, and now I was just spouting about how cumbersome it is to handle copyrights on YouTube. Every time you load something up, do you put your VODs on YouTube? I don't know. Every time you put something up on YouTube, they do a copyright check on it, and what happens is people want to find out what the real names of people are who are posting stuff on YouTube. And the way they do that is they file a fraudulent copyright claim. They say, yeah, this is my stuff, even though you're putting up public domain or anything, to your own content, anything, and they'll make a claim on it and say that it's copyrighted. And then in order to appeal their copyright claim, you have to put your real name on the form, type your real name into the form, and then those people get your name that way. And what I was saying was a way to get around that is if you were absolutely positively sure that your content is not a copyright violation, and you think that the person who is making the claim is not the copyright holder and is actually just filing the claim fraudulently, just go ahead and type, instead of typing in your name into the form, type in the words fraudulent copyright claim. That way you will challenge their claim, and they will not be able to get your name. And YouTube doesn't see it anyway. It's all done by robots and stuff. So that seems, so far that's worked pretty well. Let's see. Happy Nightmare says, yeah, I like they and she. Thanks for asking. Yeah. I've been trying. I'm an old guy, so it's hard for me to. I've been using pronouns for over 60-something years now. So yeah, I've been trying to switch over to they, but I don't always get it right every time. But yeah, that seems to be the way everybody's going, is with they. It's kind of weird because it's it's mismatched number grammatically, but once you get used to it, I think it'll be okay. Everybody's just saying they all the time. Get rid of that gender stuff in our language. So anyway, that's what my stream was about. I'm sorry you missed it. You can pick it up on the VOD though. What else did I talked about the my last stream. I streamed the whole movie Ben-Hur. The full title of the thing is Ben-Hur: The Tale of Christ, and it was a movie that was made in 1925, so it's in the public domain, and it is the day that I streamed it was what was it, 29th, I think, September 29th, and that is still is a silent movie day, National Silent Movie Day. And so I said, I'll do a silent movie. I'll stream a silent movie on my stream, and that's what I did. And my whole stream was silent. Even at the beginning, I didn't talk. I didn't. It was the whole stream was just me streaming that movie Ben-Hur. It's actually a pretty good movie. I mean, it was a big deal when it came out in 1925. It was like the height of the silent movie era. It was only a couple years after that talkies came out, and they just spent a ton of money in that thing. They had thousands of people in the cast, and a lot of the famous actors at that time were either in the movie with regular parts in the movie, or were extras kind of in there. And they did some bad things. They did some animal abuse with horses and other stuff, which was not too good. But production wise, it's like the best, one of the best or one of the best silent movies out there. And it's in the public domain now. It just went in the public domain a few years back, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, something like that. So yeah, I highly recommend you watching that. Let's see. Heavy Nightmare says, yeah, I know what you mean. I'm not always perfect about pronouns myself, but I've noticed that pretty much everyone is just happy that you try. Yeah, we all try, right? As long as yeah, I know some people who are probably resistant, but I'm not resistant. I understand the whole issue and the problem and everything. So yeah, they is the way to do it, I think. Just got to try to remember that. Yeah, and I don't think people, even if people have a preferred pronoun, I think if you use they, I don't think anybody gets upset about that, So that's probably the best way to go, because it's hard to remember too, right? You have to remember everybody's pronoun. So that makes it a little bit more difficult. I think if everybody just uses they, that works a little bit better. So yeah, Ben Hur. Yeah, Ben. I didn't do normally when I do a movie stream. If I stream the movie or whatever, I'll do a review of it. But I didn't do a review of Ben Hur. It's a really old movie, and everybody knows it's a really it's one of the best made. But I guess I need to mention that it was they abused the animals in there. They abused the horses. They had a big chariot stream towards the end of the movie, a chariot race, and they just the way they did stunts and stuff back then. They abused the people too. They abused the stuntmen and the actors and the horses and everybody. So we progressed quite a bit, I guess, since then. That's 100 years ago. But it's a good movie. I mean, even as a silent movie, a lot of the silent movies are entertaining to watch. This one was entertaining. It tells a story, and the acting on the old movies is different. It's a different kind of acting. It looks a little bit more stilted. It looks more like stage acting. And when they first started doing movies, that's basically what they did. They were all there was before then was just live performances, right? Live stage performances. And what they would do when they first did hang on just a second here. Okay. What they did when they first came out with motion pictures was they just basically did acted out the play and stuck the camera there and photographed them on stage, And so a lot of the very early silent movies just looked like stage performances that were recorded by a camera, and then they quickly figured out that they could do cuts and close-ups and all the different camera work and make it much more interesting. But the acting still continued to be much like stage acting, and overdone and stilted and all that kind of stuff. It seems that way to us. But if you understand that, and you can still get a lot of entertainment out of those movies. And the comedies, of course, those are really funny. It's all sight gags, obviously. So, so those are really funny too. Maybe I'll play some of those one day. I'll play some old comedies. Charlie Chaplin. He was like a big one, and Harold Lloyd was another one who was really funny. He did a lot of comedies and stunts. Did a lot of really dramatic stunts in his comedies. So yeah, there's a lot of it's kind of interesting, and it's fallen into the public domain now, which is really cool. So yeah, maybe I'll do one of these days. All right, I got three people. Maybe I should try to do a raid here. Do I have anybody who I can raid out here? I don't know. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't think 3 is enough to raid somebody who has 100. Yeah, I'll just forget. Yeah, I don't think that's enough to do a raid. All right. Well, I thank everybody for joining. So you can pick it up on the VOD if you're watching on the VOD or otherwise. If you can hit the follow button, give me a follow, because I'm still trying to get what's called affiliate on Twitch, which allows me to do more stuff with my stream. If I can get a few more followers, I can do that. So I'd appreciate it if you could get over to twitch.tv, look up Double Tribble, and give me a follow. That would be much appreciated. So I appreciate everybody coming to the stream, and I'll try to maybe do a science stream next time. I haven't done a science stream in a while, so I'll try to do that next time. All right, everybody, take care. See you later. Bye. All right, you squirrels, that's enough. Aren't you guys getting tired? Those little squirrels just keep going and going and going. There they go. All right, everybody. Thank you. Bye.